Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another DMing Hadley game. Tonight, we're playing the Withering Willow. This is Season 2, Episode 4, titled Court is in Session. And I am excited to see what happens tonight because last time y'all did some light violence. In the tower of the yeah, like some light violence, a sprinkling of violence. It's a healthy dose of violence in the Sealy court. Of all places, you thought it would be a good idea to fight some elven guards in the middle of the Sealy court. Holy
That's what the
cow.
fuck he gets for putting me in a fucking box and taking away the most important fucking thing ever to
Nobody
me.
put Philius in the corner.
Okay? What did I like? Everybody knows how I feel about being in boxes or cages. And, he put me in a box. He stole my seed.
Gross.
And this is unacceptable.
Okay.
No consent whatsoever. Not cool. Of course, I'm gonna fight him in front of the Sealy court. What the heck? What do you think?
You see these violent characters that I have to deal with week in and week out. Yeah.
I think you might be a fascist.
A
You're
little.
okay with people being in boxes. What the heck?
I am anything but fascist, but that guy definitely is, and a warmonger at that. You guys found out, and ultimately you were led to the Sealy court, and you saw Aluin Orixia on his knees in front of the court, and the commander of the guard, who you were in a minor altercation, a fracas. Once he found out that Phileas was the one who carried the seed of Willow, the Archfey, and the both literal and figurative root of the Feywild, decided instead to cease violence, and march alongside you into the Fey court. And as the lights came up in this room, you were able to see a number of individuals, and you're going to get to meet a lot of them tonight. But before we get to meet them, you know what we gotta do, and that is the round robin. During the round robin, we like to do four distinct things. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves. The second thing we do is share with one another and the world our pronouns. The third thing we do is introduce our characters. And the fourth and final thing is offer a vivid, aesthetic description of our characters so that they may live in each and every one of our brain holes. Because, you see, I like to vividly hallucinate with my friends on the internet for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 6 days a week, often multiple times per day. And today is no different. So without further ado, Ben, why don't you take it away and show the folks at home how it's done?
That's preposterous. I'm never first. Oh, me? Lonely old me.
Little me.
First time for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and if you're lucky, there might be a second time, too.
Okay, the concept of going first was scary enough on its own, without this particular contextualization.
If you mess up, you're gonna have to go first every time.
Every time.
My God.
Until you get it right.
No.
Yeah, so you better, hey, listen, you better ace this.
I try my very best here. Listen, I'm trying. Well, hi everyone. My name is Ben. Pronouns are they, them. And as for whom I'm playing, well, my name, I guess you could call me Tithe. I don't really have a name these days, at least none that I could remember. Who am I? Well, I am the nature-inclined, memory-blind guy of physical mind that is quite socially terrified. Yeah, I am sorry about that. I do that when I got anxious, which is still better than me becoming angered. Me. It stirs when the rage creeps in, so let's just hope it will never wake.
We can only hope.
Following that, with the blinding presence of what could only be interpreted as a centralized seat of sociocultural Aladdin power converging on the dwarfed consciousness, Tithe's conception of reality and its temporal-spatial relation imploded, drawing them momentarily out of physicality into a non-space of introspection, rendering two complicatedly chained thoughts into the code of their existence. The immediate one of which negotiated the conundrum of their exceedingly excited state of emotionality, being met with a political and mystical force which could perhaps change their ill-begotten fate for the better as a group, but understanding clearly that whatever it was that was changing them, clawing from the depths of their being to be relinquished, would be plainly to see for these decisive entities. Dragged out, maybe, for everybody to behold. Second only in question of accosting the sensibility of threat assessment was the overwhelming understanding to be surrounded and supported by friends, being a concept as foreign to them as the idea of genuinely self-proposed affection. And the question that lingered after those resided was, what would they think if they would see?
And what do we see when we look at Tithe?
Well, I would believe at the moment it has been a little bit calmed as of circumstances, or more demanded to be at attention. And so Tithe would be in very close proximity, positioning themselves in line of fire in a defensive yet intended and intentional position, standing upright, presenting their bare, fully swirlingly tattooed upper body, rendered with slight silvery scars upon a very pale skin, looking warily out of cold blackened eyes, crowned by black half-length hair, and a eerily symmetrically and perfectly shaped exterior, trying to be as best of an asset to their companions as they can be.
He's just a big sweetie. He's just a big sweet boy. Yes, he is.
No, I'm dangerous.
Nah, he's just a big softie.
He's like a pit bull that's been through some trauma.
I got bit by one of those the other day. Still have a scar on the inside of my thigh. Bitches.
Well, what'd you do to scare him?
Existed.
Exactly.
Literally, I did nothing but exist for this animal to attack me.
That is the same question you ask a hippopotamus. What did you do to make them so angry? You exist.
Yeah. It's real.
It's not the
Y'all,
same when you're talking about a pit bull. They're adorable.
I want to be very clear. I love pit bulls. I've been bitten by 2 of them. I don't blame either one of them. I've been bit equally as many times by Pekingese, and far worse bites than from pit bulls. So I'm not mad. I'm scarred, but I'm not mad, and I'm not traumatized.
Pekingese were bred for violence.
They were bred for violence. That is correct. Take inspiration.
Yeah, my knowledge of random fun facts has aided me.
Yes, I definitely support that.
I need to try that now. I need to put a Pekingese in. I need to get a shirt or dress with long sleeve, big ass sleeves, and put 2 Pekingese in my sleeves, and then just be like,
You
go.
just have like rocket launcher Pekingese.
I don't know if you lot saw my dog. Like I have a
No,
like
show us
shepherd.
the child.
Well, he's sleeping, but when I can get him, I will show him
Another time.
But he is technically also bred for violence or warfare, and he's the sweetest little boy.
It's fair. Finn.
Oh, okay.
Good thing.
Hi, I'm Finn.
Hi.
I've been cursed with having a love for culture, but being so horrible at language.
The Netherlands. I'm telling you, they'll eat you up like a. It's like a reward. Sorry.
Okay.
Please continue.
Yes, and I play Portabella, and she's Verbal Druid. She's Mushroom Lady, but not actually a mushroom. She just kind of is one spiritually. I present she.
Hello.
So yeah, yeah, it looks like that. She's like somewhere between like 8.5 feet tall. She's thick.
Correct.
Literally, like it's like hugging the memory foam mattresses. Just squish right in.
Mhm.
She's she has like a brown kind of Lolita dress, not super puffy, but just a kind of what I think they call baby doll style or something.
Yes.
Yay. Nice, smart. A white frilly apron with a bunch of like embroidery of like little leaves and berries and stuff that she did. Knee-high white socks with like the little frillies on top because you gotta add to that Lolita, and just those like little Mary Janes. So yeah, and the mushroom hat that was in the picture. Yes, of course, that is why she mushroom
course.
lady. Oh my god, dog.
Oh. Hello. Hello. Yes, we can stop. We can stop the show for you for a minute. It's fine. We love dogs. No, come back. It's okay.
No, where's dog going?
Don't leave us. We love you. No, okay. Well, have a nice night. We love you. We still love you. We still love you.
Dog butt.
Parents, why have you woken me up at 3 a.m. for this?
I do love the blend of like Lolita and cottagecore is like.
Yes. If we ever get to do like what we do in bars, where like there's just like a bunch of outfit changes, I have more outfits. I also incorporate some like 70s cottagecore stuff. Like you like there was like, every single thrift store you see those canisters with the mushrooms on it, and it's like that's from the 70s. It's that kind of vibe.
You should come down to Tucson. You can get those here in the thrift
Okay, I
stores.
want those. There's like this one antique store that I see, and every time I go there, they still have those pots set, but I have no point for it yet because they haven't moved out, and I have no room to put them right now. So it's like I just really want to go there. I'm like, I want the mushroom canisters.
Yes, I appreciate and support this behavior.
Anyway, but anyway, so cottagecore and Lolita with some like that very earthy tone 70s.
Love it.
Okay,
How tall? How big? How tall? 7.5 feet. You're pushing 8 feet, right?
Oh, I say she's 8 feet.
Okay. More with the hat.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
As big as they come for Vogue.
I'm gonna save all my comments about that. Thanks, Finn. Speaking of saving my comments, Ativa Panic.
Hello, I'm Ativa Panic.
Sup?
Thanks, Hadley. That was a great introduction.
Sup?
I'm gonna be. Oh wait. My pronouns are it. That's. I'm gonna be playing Phileas today. Phileas goes by they them. They're like a pixie. Pretty spunky character. Doesn't really like wearing clothes, but they got us, so they wear flowers and leaves as their clothes. They've got some really cool green hair that twists up, kind of like Jimmy Neutron. Although right now it's probably pretty messy because they were just stuck in a fucking box for 3 years.
Like 8
lavender
minutes.
Skin.
Like 10 minutes.
Lavender skin, bright blue eyes, and yeah, just ready to kick some freaking elven ass to this guy who thinks he could just take whatever he wants. Anyway, back to you, Hadley. Thanks.
Thanks. Because now I can share my comments. I appreciate it. It's very good. Do you have some art for us? Yeah, don't you?
Be aggressive.
If no one has learned that Ativa has an aggressive streak, then you have not been paying attention.
He just got me this time with the introduction to the introductions. He was just so announcer about it. I really needed to like match that energy.
Show us the child.
Hold on, I have to find him.
That is such a weird proclamation. Show us the child.
It's a child, but is it? I feel it was stated before that like Phileas is like at least over 100 years old.
I mean, that's not even the point. In which circumstance does this ever work non-comedically? Like,
exactly. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Boop. There you go. That's
There they are.
That's what they look like right there. Pretty spunky. Anyway, yeah.
Again, saving my comments. For everyone's benefit.
I am like going through the files in my brain of like every dirty joke I know, trying to figure out what you mean, and I can't.
I've lived
You can just
more
text me about them later.
more than 2 of your lifetimes. I've got a few more dirty tricks up my sleeve than you do. Guaranteed.
There's a whole subgenre of dirty dad jokes. Did you not know?
It's any joke I tell.
That's all right. I find you in my DMs. It's all good.
It's fair. It's understandable. We'll fight there, I guess. I don't know. Thank you, Ativa. That was magnificent. I appreciate the energy that you brought. Jimbo, I don't expect you to throw down quite as hard, but it's please. The floor is yours.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I knew exactly what was coming, and when it did, I couldn't hold back.
I'm Jimbo. He, him pronouns. Today I'll be playing Shiny. They're my own custom lineage. They're a druid.
That is how everyone in every fucking English class I've been in read the books out loud.
Oh Jesus! Oh wow! Yeah.
Dude, I
Ah.
was putting my whole pussy into the crucible, and nobody else in that class
Oh,
was.
you know what? Good on you. Good on you. That's the kind of commitment that book
Mhm.
deserves. Wow. You know what the problem is? Most people can't read.
It's so sad and so funny at the same time.
It is. I imagine that some people here have experienced secondhand embarrassment. I don't recall, except for not being able to uphold my obligations, a sense of embarrassment that compares to how embarrassed I feel when other people are flubbing in just a. Um, but practice makes improvement, and I guess you have to start somewhere. But I want to be very clear that I'm going to incorporate into my day-to-day vernacular. I put my whole pussy into something. That is going right to the top of the list. Woo!
Dude, I was getting to that. I was waiting for you to stop talking, but like that is my new mantra. I put my whole pussy into
that is not a full picture though. I put my whole pussy into the crucible.
Into the crucible.
That is so strong.
Well, like the phrase half-assed.
Yeah, half-assed the whole pussy. God
I did not half my ass.
Hey, Finn, I gotta say, first, wipe front to back. That was for all of you. And second, if I had not already given you inspiration, you most certainly would have earned it from that.
You already did.
So you're 2 for 2, and we haven't even started playing yet.
That means next time I'm gonna be real boring.
It's okay. It's all right. Balance in all things.
May I please petition the council to offer Jimbo inspiration too for this?
You know what? Yes. You know what? Yes. Absolutely. You know what? That's a fair
presentation that killed me.
You know what? Hey, you know what? Fuck it. No. Jimbo, take inspiration. Ativa, take inspiration. You poured at least 1/3 of your pussy into that.
You already gave me inspiration.
Then you know what? Then take take a bardic for you and a bardic for Portobello too. And Ben, take it too because that was your first time doing an instructor first. Everybody has accomplished something today. I just want to check because Jimbo, I had to pull my earbuds out to keep from dry heaving laughing. Did you sufficiently get through what was necessary and required as part of the round robin?
I love the lack of energy. Yes, Queen, give us nothing.
Yes, give us absolutely nothing. Then everyone shut up. Except for Jimbo.
Shiny is small. They are.
You just flag me down when you're done.
You're as good as.
They are small, but have long fingies and toesies, and their tail is glorious. Shiny dark gray skin with greenish highlights and glitters. Bright emerald eyes always smile, except when they don't.
That was the most
smell
fucking thing.
Of fresh dirt after a strong rain and fresh baked spicy peppers. Shiny's hair is very, very long, almost as long as their tail. And their tail is glorious, by the by. Glorious. That is all.
Thank you. Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you, Jimbo.
I cannot even. I can't. Oh my god.
Woo!
It got hot in
Wow!
here.
You really had to crank it down. Woo!
Oh, Jimbo, I love you. I love you, man.
You too. Oh, also, I know that we're live right now. Jimbo, I made you a friend. I'm gonna send him up your way.
Okay, sounds good.
Right. I'm DMing Hadley. He, him pronouns here for about 60% or so of your DMing needs. And I find it necessary. I've sort of gotten out of the regular presentation here. It started to go on. And sorry, I like abbreviated it to I'm DMing Hadley, he, him pronouns here for about 60% of your DMing. I used to go through all of the names that you can call me. And there were quite a few. I'm not going to go through all of them. But there was one in particular that I have not reminded people about recently. And I've started to do it again. And I'm going to try and continue doing that. Yes, Jimbo.
Please, please don't hurt me.
That is one of them.
That's not the one?
That's not the one. No, you see, about 7 or 8 months ago, I adopted everyone. That makes me your dad. And it's not just a joke. You can call me dad. But as of late, I have had more and more opportunities to offer fatherly wisdom to folks and a level of compassion that unfortunately few people get from their fathers. So just know that I'm here for you, kiddo. And with that, may I begin with a round of perception checks?
I don't know why you're passively complaining. I call you daddy all the time. Jeez.
Not enough.
21.
That's a very good perception check.
That is a 9.
That's not.
Also, just to ask, we are in general agreement that this is
No. Perception checks first, then you can deal with that.
24.
Magnificent. Oh, yes, exceptional.
It must be because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I am in the form of a displacer beast.
That is correct.
6.
A 6. Is that a natural one for you?
No.
What'd you get? What'd you roll?
A 3.
Roll a 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Blinded by rage doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I'm pretty upset.
What did Phileas get?
Blinded by the light.
I mean, I did roll another dice just to see which die I would be using tonight, and that one rolled a 15. So that's the one I'm going to be using from now on, but I didn't want to cheat and take the roll off that one. I was just seeing which one would roll better.
It's fair. I appreciate that. Dice jail. Magnificent. We'll begin then with the easy one and already been explained. Phileas, you are blinded by rage.
Yeah.
The illumination of the members of the Fae Court, or the fact that you were standing in the middle of it, means absolutely nothing to you. As you look past this elven gentleman, he is covered with his own sort of thin, greeny, lavender blood after having been beaten thoroughly.
That's right, because he deserves it.
That's neither here nor there. This is a perception check, not an insight check. And you see Aluin Arixius, and he rises from his knees and turns, and it looks a lot like a snarl. on his face.
We already went through this. I'm already yelling at him. I'm like, who do you think you are, putting me in a box, taking my stuff? Where's Willow? Give me Willow right now.
As the rest of you look around,
I'm like holding it by his collar.
not yet. You're not. You'd be well on your way, but not yet. Portobello. I am going to explain the glory and magnificence of what lay before you, and Typh, and I almost called you Mithri, and Shiny. You will simply have to infer what you get out of those two things. Portobello, as you look around, you are absolutely awestruck. The room that you're in seems to reach to the stars, quite literally. As you look, it's almost as if the moon is at the point of it, directly overhead. It's so large and booming. It's actually waning gibbous, to be precise. But you also see 8, if I recall, individuals seated around this court. The interior here is a golden hue. The space in the middle is a mosaic that looks like it is alive. The tiles seem to move as if wind is blowing the leaves on the tenderling vines that grow throughout this lattice work of history. There are images playing out beneath you. Representative, it seems, of the different histories of the members of the Sealy court, the Spring court, excuse me. Don't want to mix my lore. Speaking of lore, as you regard...
the Sealy court is the Spring court.
No, there is a substantial difference from what I have been able to infer. Yes, Ben.
So on a metacritical level, the Sealy Court is an umbrella term for the gathering of individuals of the Sealy nature against the unsealy nature, forming a seat of power. So a Sealy Court is just the accumulation of some form of power of the Sealy side forming such a court. And in such, there are multiple institutions that can be classified as Sealy courts. For once, the Summer Court and the Spring Court, which are both Sealy courts.
You know what I love more than anything? When somebody else does my job for me.
Yes, the other 40% of the DMing.
Correct. Yes.
I just lost to talk.
Hey, save me the trouble. I'll interrupt you if I need to. It's fine. Portobello, this is a pretty striking experience for you because as you begin to look around, you see that 2 of the pieces of this Trivial Pursuit wheel seem to be absent. That's for the 40 and over crowd, Trivial Pursuit. Anybody younger than that, if you know what that is, then I'm sorry you have to spend time with people who are older than 40. You did. You once had to spend so much time.
Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit was like one of my favorite games of all time. There are definitely
and
people.
You're like 53. You're like a cougar. You're like.
I feel so offended. On which level it's me then? I played classic Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. It's called geriatric. Welcome to the club, buddy.
Oh
You're
my
literally
God.
geriatric. It's not a joke. We have to get different doctors now. That's how old we are. Moving right along. As you look around, even more Portobello taking in this room, you see these 8 individuals. And can I get a history or arcana check, please, Portobello, as you look around the room?
19. That could be either because they have the same modifier.
Okay, we'll go with history. And then I can just copy and paste a website link. No. Very good. Looking from left to right, the first seat is empty. The next person is a centaur. And he
How does a centaur sit on a chair?
he doesn't.
Okay.
He is, they're all standing.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you just have to be respectful, and everyone has to do the same thing. Plus, if he really needed to, he could just sort of drape his forelegs over the desk and just sort of rest himself if he felt like it. Or he could just, the horse part could stand up and he could just lay down on the desk. It's fine. He's great. It doesn't look like much can phase this guy. He's also bigger than any centaur you have ever seen. He is absolutely tremendous. And he's wearing a helm that has these magnificent elk horns coming out of it. The helm itself looks as if he'd just taken the skull, carved away the part he could see out, and then just draped it on his massive centaur head. He is draped with living vines, and you can see spots on his body, both the human part and his horse. That guy must be a full draft horse. This guy's so huge. There are
Does he
spots.
have the fluffy draft horse feet?
You can't see them, but you know they're there.
Oh yeah.
You know what you're looking at, and you're like, "Holy cow, he's got fluffy feet," and he does. You just don't see them. Yeah, so he's sort of covered with moss. There's things growing on and around him. There's little butterflies flying around. One lands on the edge of one of his horns, and he blows it away as he looks down at you. And you recognize this guy. Unsurprisingly, since you have a 19 to your history check. Scarret, also known as the Forest Walker, is the god of centaurs and satyrs, who venerates neutrality. He was the hunter and protector of the Sylvan lands and watched over the woodland communities, always aspired to maintain a balance in nature. You know that about him.
But if he's also the god of satyrs, is he like Pan or like Dionysus? Is he like whack too? You know, like.
No, he's got just a faint, maybe just the slightest bit on the nose. Just the faint, his nose just seems to be a little darker on the bottom and a little flatter, just a little bit. But he's so goddamn big that I mean, he's towering down. He is also obviously about 6 feet up off the ground to begin with a pretty high table, which he's just doodling. He likes to draw through the meetings. He's not really invest. No. That might actually be accurate. I'm not going to say that that's not canon yet. You guys are about to have to, hey, everyone get comfortable, get a beverage, because you're all about to get like a 30-minute 24 perception check and 19 history level of exposition. So if you need to refill, you know what, I'm going to get some coffee. I'll be right back.
So just to get to a point that I tried to make earlier, we are in accordance that this whole scheme of Hadley, of having adopted all of us, is just for his need to place daddy figures in every game.
Could be true.
Could be.
He's just dad vibes through and through.
All right, everybody cuddle up. It's fucking book hour. Your dad's reading you stories about the Fey Court tonight, everybody.
Oh, wait. Okay, what was that guy's name again? I gotta take note.
I am going to actually copy and paste this information to you.
Garrett.
And that is correct. His name is...
How do you spell that?
I'm going to... Hang on, actually. No, I'm going to save you the trouble. I'm going to save you the trouble right here. Copy.
Fucking computer genius over here. Look at him. Goddamn.
Hold on to... Yeah, right? Seriously. The old people around here are like...
Oh, man, Daddy.
Hey,
good job.
Can you reset my iPad for me? And I'm like, yes, I just need your password. Boop, boop, it's done. Wow, we could have never done that.
It only gave part. It stopped after a little bit. You only get so many characters.
Oh, did you put it in the in-call message? You should have just put it in the Discord.
I will.
Gosh. Come on, Dad. What are you doing?
Yeah, okay. Well, I do all the things. I do it everywhere.
The name of one of those members is very close to my dead name. You get to guess which one.
One of them is pretty close to your chosen name.
Yes, I just noticed that. It's because both my dead name and my preferred name are Gaelic names, and these are all like Gaelic names because I guess it's just overarching knowledge that the Fae is just Ireland.
I mean, that's how you get through. That's the veil.
But why did one of your parents call you Titania? This is like...
Yeah. Okay. Let me take that. And oh, here. You know what? Great. Scrolling.
I'm super excited to hear you pronounce all these names.
Why won't the links work?
I blame Zelda.
Okay, I'll work on the links. Nice. That's scary. So Nair, Skaok is the next person, and they are the god of pseudo dragons and fairy dragons. They have a long serpentine body with it is thick. And the majority of their scales down sort of the middle of their front and back have a deep indigo color to them. They are shimmery, and they gradate from that purple into a rich green, and then slowly into a lighter green, and then into, as you start getting into the leathery sort of appendages, their wings and the webbing between their clawed toes starts to turn almost a magenta pink. Similarly with the ridge, the fan that pops up down their draconic-looking, long, just elongated face, and a couple of other fins, including the one at their tail, which you see them just floating and twisting, and how this thing doesn't end up in a knot on itself is beyond you. And it pauses only briefly to regard you looking up. And you swear. You swear. He just smiled at you. He, while being a member of the Spring Court here, is not often an active participant. He and Scarrett are generally neutral. Things come and go, and the Fae carry on. It takes a lot to get him hot and bothered. Who's next? Finella. Finella's next. And you see this sort of interesting overlapping vision. You see a woman. She is blonde. She has green eyes. She's wearing a dark blue tunic and a green hunter's cloak, and has a bow across her chest. And at the same time, you look at her and you swear to God, she looks like just a swan, just like flapping their wings and looking down at this scene with a level of agitation that cannot be understated or overstated in this case. Pardon me. And oh no, that was yeah. And that is, as the name would probably imply, Swanman. And they are a deity of certain types of lycanthropy, mostly those that can turn from human to swan. But there's sort of some subspecies lycanthropy that they dabble in.
Perhaps people that can shift into ducks? Or geese?
Whole armies, actually. And y'all better stay out the way.
Wait.
Finn's picking up what I'm putting down.
I like ducks.
Who's next? That was Finella. Who's next? Yeah.
It is Finella.
Kuevin is the next one. And they are one of the last of the outer circle. And this creature looks different. They are differently bodied. They have, first, they are small. Smaller than a gremlin, but bigger than a pixie. Or a goblin, but bigger than a pixie. And they have like a snuffleupagus looking prehensile snout. They've got big eyes that are set a lot farther forward and down than you would generally expect a creature to have. They do have sort of goblinoid ears, and a weird flowing yellowy white tuft of hair that seems to run down its back. It is covered with boils. And
The hair is?
knobbly bit. What?
Wait, what's covered in boils?
The creature.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We've moved on. And they have very elongated, skinny, leathery arms. They're not wearing any clothes, and they are sort of hunched, looking down at this scene as well. And their little prehensile snout sort of slurps and sniffs at this just outrageous act of violence and disturbance.
Is that the one that's in the text? It starts with CAOI.
Yes, Kuaven.
That's the one that's close. That's the one that's like my dead name.
Yes.
That's
I mean,
gender.
it's like the Irish version of Kevin.
The translation of this name being kind.
Interesting.
I am in fact a small creature covered in boils, though.
Yes, clearly. That's what we've all determined during our time together.
Literally just gender. I'm a fucking Muppet, yeah.
They do have very Muppety sort of like. If it like
I was gonna say, when you first started describing its face, I was like, "Oh, this thing's kind of cute," and then you started describing the rest of its body, and I was like, "Wait."
It has when you look at them and their weirdly like placed eyes on what must be the very tip of its skull, like right on the edge of it before this snout comes out. It does have a very compassionate look on its face, and you do know that, yeah, it's a very kind creature.
It's still all perspective. If you ask biologists, they will find animals interesting or find themselves attracted to that are for the blatant part of the populace just ugly in a sense, because they will see more or concentrate more on the aspect of efficiency.
And it uses its pronouns.
They don't use pronouns. It's Kuaven.
That's so gender. I love it already.
It is the gender we all hope and aspire to, is a lack thereof.
Did you all see the 1E version? The 1E version strides with such confidence and Gracile.
Then you see you see a lady, a woman. And she, to say that she's striking would be a absolute understatement. Her presence is to begin with, immediately. She is Amazonian in her build and physique, and you're not sure if she's wearing any sort of clothing or not. I don't know how Portobello feels about that, but I will just say that the general sense when regarding her, and I'm not just talking about like how I perceive, but how she is often perceived, is like, can I just need to just need to keep looking in her eyes. I'm gonna look just right in her eyes, because I don't know what she's gonna do if I regard her any other way. She is enticing and a threat in a very large bundle. She when she moves, it is as if a veil of small white flowers blooms around her. Her curves are not to be denied, and the points at which muscle clearly cut through any softness in her figure. I just don't regard it too long, is all I'm saying. Just don't regard it too long. That's Venestra. She is the deity of female fairies, charm and beauty, and she is the daughter of Titania, and at least one member of the inner circle. Just throwing that out. She is also, you know this because you rolled so well. She can change her appearance to suit whatever whims she desires. Often enticing the creatures. Her wiles, she has them. But she is also, and I'm just going to read this word for words. I'm not making things up about this character, y'all. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm just reading what the people on the wiki said. She's fickle. She is vain. She is jealous. She disdained the company of other goddesses, but she's not stupid. She's pragmatic. She can make alliances. Yes, Ben.
Well, I have a quarry with myself here if we should get into prolonged discussion of gender theory, which at the end would just leave us with the question if those attributes you just described are a fair attribution to the character or a very male gendered perspective on powerful womanhood.
Now, this is specific. I'm warning you guys. I'm warning you. This is not. I'm not throwing shade. I am giving you guys the tools you need not to get murdered inside of this room right now. Okay? I love y'all.
Listen.
And Portobello did such a good job that all this information is just pouring into her beautiful mushroom bedecked head. It's like this. It's like when you see who's it, Quicksilver in the X-Men movies where he doesn't get shot. Still saucy about that. Spicy. And everything is standing still. We're just sort of following Portobello moving through this space. Like I said, I hope you guys had brought beverages. I needed one. Look out. Oh, also, she is immune to all of the things she's good at. So you cannot, at least magically, charm her. She can't be bought. She needs to be impressed. Moving right along.
Lesbian panic.
Yeah. This next one is a doozy. The antlers on this guy. Ooh. These didn't come from another animal. These are his. They grow tremendously. From his head, they span outward and begin to grow up, swirling behind and ahead of him. They break off into twisting antlers, each of them seeming as deadly as a short sword, and he has dozens of them. His face is broad and squared. His skin is the brown, green, gray of ancient oak trees. His eyes are deep amber maple syrup, and they glint as you look up and regard him. He is covered in vegetation. They seem to be robes of ivy, and he stands about 9.5 feet tall, just on his own, and the horns go up even higher than that. He is the single largest figure in this room, and only is diminished by this room's immense scale itself. He has what looks at first like a chest pocket, which you see is actually a nest for hummingbirds, and one buzzes up out of it and looks around. And as they do, you see three little heads pop up, and their little mouths open and tongues point out. And he leans forward and puts his hands down on this desk, and his arms are about as big around your waist, Portobello. He's thicker than a snicker and just about as dark. And he growls, and as he does, he bares a set of teeth that could absolutely sever limb, like more than probably one limb at a time. He is a ferocious looking creature, and as he looks down at this absolute like show of disrespect, he looks like he could probably jump from his station and crush everyone. And you're not surprised by that because Oberon is a big, bad mamma jamma. He is the sire of at least one of Queen Titania's children. He is he. We'll get to more because we're just sort of seeing what you see here. He has a beard, which is absolutely inundated with brambles, as if they grow from his face, and hair is just sort of a slight addition to the brambles. He is a mercurial character. And he does not mind to fight. Sometimes, so much so does he not mind to fight that he is often prone to finding a reason to start one.
Just like my parents.
Damn. Have you used that inspiration yet? Fuck. Him big, him thick, and him mad. And then you see her. There she is. Queen Titania. She looks positively angelic. As she stands before you, she is wrapped in what looks like iridescent film, like one would expect at some desert rave. Uh, there is a glow emanating from her that casts this shimmering illumination against Oberon, giving him this blue greeny effect on his left side. And she looks out at this madness and her hair starts to almost like rise on end. And you can see this black forest honey colored hair beginning to sway in a wind that you cannot feel. She is immensely beautiful. I'm reading that from the words directly. And she yes, flighty and frivolous when engaging with people. She is also a brilliant strategist, and has a prowess on the battlefield, both as a fighter and tactician. Um, she has a dry sense of humor, but is pragmatic for sure. She is not quick to anger, but those who have angered her rarely live to tell the tale. Let's see who's next. Yes. To her left, you see a gentleman. You actually don't see a gentleman as much as you see two boots up on the desk. They look to be very shiny leather, and they are attached to a pair of purpley red, shimmery, silken bloused trousers. And you hear "whoa," and then you see a guy sit up and look out, and you hear a loot bang against the this circular desk in front of everyone, and he brushes these sort of like beachy curls out of his face, and looks out with a somewhat vapid expression, and says, "What's going on here?"
How did a Florida surfer dude got into the Fae court?
You're about to find out, because Dom is a lesser deity of dance and song, and he's always been a member of the Sealy court. It helps that he's got parents in high places, if you know what I mean.
Nepotism. You mean nepotism?
I mean nepotism, that's correct. And here's the thing. People don't like nepotism or bribery, but you wouldn't if you didn't have any money or any friends. Yeah. That's Dom. He's actually a very powerful arcane individual. He's let's just read it out loud for everybody. Dom is self-indulgent, never one to delay gratification. He loved song and dance, gestures and strong drink, and especially dryads.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here's our Pan Dionysus dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a party all the time boy. Yeah, party monster Fey edition. And he yeah, he just sort of looks out with a vapid look. That's about it for him. And beside him is a seemingly appropriate individual to at least keep his attention when he's not uh, uh, participating in court ventures. And his buddy Skelly is right beside him, and you see a another. Uh, they're actually very androgynous looking redhead. They've got sort of bigger, almost bouffant curls, and just sort of split down the middle and standing out to the sides. They're wearing a very dapper green suit. They are standing on the desk and are about 3.5 feet tall. And he reaches into his jacket, pulls out a notepad, scribbles down a couple of things, tucks it away, and looks back at Dom and says, "Oh, this is going in the history books." And he is the court jester of the court, and actually a member of Titania's like inner circle. He is more than a simple jester, though. He is a storyteller. He regales people of the exploits of the Fey court and of the world to the court. He is, I would say, with your level of knowledge, an influential individual within the court. If he can be swayed, you might have a chance. Whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, if he can be swayed, that's your guy. Being the sort of demigod of leprechauns, trickery, and illusions, however, it's sometimes difficult to work your way through his devious defenses and actually convince him of anything. He is playful, unpredictable, a trickster, a prankster, and yeah, the prankster part, the things he gets away with, epic, absolutely epic. The stuff he pulls, I can't talk about it, even though I know that this is a like adult channel and all of that. We're not gonna go. It makes Jackass look like a bunch of jackasses. I'm just saying.
There's one description for him. He's a fool, yet not a fool.
Not a fool. He is a capital F fool.
Yes.
Not a fool. And he is all these guys. I'm not going to go into the full extent here. All these guys, dangerously powerful level of arcane. They're godlike. You just walked into the god room and picked a fight. I love it. It makes me so happy. I'm so enthusiastic. Now that you're starting to learn who you're dealing with. And boy howdy, I think that might actually be everybody. Titania, Oberon, Dom.
Do we have the
We're missing two.
Yeah, there's two that start with E.
They're not there.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's two missing.
Oh yeah, there were the seats that were not occupied. Yes.
and that is significant. And I think perchance, Portobello, it might be significant to you. So just want to go ahead and make sure I got everybody who's actually here. Great.
So that's 9 seats, 8 filled with Skelly on the table.
I think it was 10 seats.
Well,
8.
you said that Skelly was on the table, not at a seat.
Oh.
And
his
the first,
wedge. The wedges
the first
are
one
your
was empty.
giveaway. The first wedge was
okay.
and so you do actually see 3 empty wedges, which I think is 1, 2, 3. It might be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. 3 empty wedges. Cool. I think that with a 9, if I recall correctly, Type, we almost see that darkness which was illuminated moments ago remain in your psyche as you begin to see Phileas rush forward past this pointing, angry, bleeding elven captain. And as you do, Shiny, what'd you get?
21 perception.
Roll me a history check as well.
Yeah, I think the 9 could also be representative of Ty not really being that much aware of all these astonishingly powerful entities, but very much fixating on their companion who is in the midst of a rage, of a fit, and trying just with one hand maybe to hold them back.
We'll see if you get the
history.
chance. Who does Shiny recognize?
Let me look at that again really quick. I think Nather.
Okay.
And maybe Vernestra.
Okay.
And probably the two big ones.
Oberon and Scarret.
No, not the 2 big ones as in size, but 2 big ones like Oberon and Titania.
Okay. All right. Very good. Sounds great. Love it. You get all that information. Would you like me to regale you again?
No, thank you. That's good.
I'll do it. I will. I'll sit here for another 20 minutes and read every single. No, I'm not going to do that. Whew. That was somewhat exhausting. Cheers. Thanks. Let's roll for initiative.
What?
What the
What
fuck?
did I say?
Why?
What the fuck?
Why? Why? Wait, how dare you ask why?
Why? There should be no fighting going on right now. Why would there
You
be
just
fighting
said
going
you
on
just
right
said you
now?
were gonna rush a guy and grab him by the collar and start threatening him in the middle of a fake court.
Yeah, why would we be
Let's
in a
roll for
fight?
initiative.
15.
11. Didn't know Fae were so violent. Jeez.
You're the one doing the.
Shut up! He put me in a Are you kidding me right now? You are being so fascist today.
I'm
I
not what are you
swear to
talking
God.
about?
Oh my God.
We need to know who acts first. You're trying to rush
He
this guy.
acted first when
Type
he
is
put me in
trying
a
to grab
box.
you. Yeah, I know why you're doing it. The reason you're doing it doesn't mean that I don't need to keep track of who goes first. You chose violence, not me. All right, sorry.
So the line is, who know that fairy were so violent?
Yeah.
They are nature incarnated.
Ah,
They are
jeez.
violence per excellence.
You know what? I got an 11.
What do you mean, Fae people?
Yeah, what do you mean? What?
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to try this again. Philly is with an 11.
Yeah.
Shiny?
So you got 15?
15. Okay.
After switching to actual physical die that not betray me like every digital one,
Mm-hmm.
I have a sizable 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah, artificial 20.
Ooh.
Nice.
Look at the big hat on Bella.
Take it away, Portobello.
We spent so much long not playing that like my brain is like it's not
Listen,
expecting to actually play.
right now, you are regarding this court. You are aware that your friend is angry. You are aware that there's
Oh
the
man, that roll,
tensions.
the dice weren't so much in our
are
favor
high.
then. Dang.
You do not have to attack anyone. I would like to know what Portobello, a Fey individual who knows who every single, I mean, like how long did Portobello spend telling stories or hearing stories about these individuals in her life to have that much information?
Yeah, a lot. That's kind of well, but she like that's kind of what she like. She's a librarian, so
Right? So, what would someone so deeply invested in these individuals do in this space, this venerated space?
probably do what she does for every strong emotion she feels. Cry.
Magnificent. Roll me a performance check, please.
But she also shift back to her normal form.
Okay.
I don't know that bit, and then
Oh God, I forgot that you were stalking around, not in Portobello form, but in the invisible cat form, glitch cat form.
this cat.
Boy, that made that. Wow, that actually elevated that experience inside my head just then. Thank you.
Crying cat.
Just the invisible part. The crying part, however, we're gonna see how the performance check goes first.
It's gonna use that. Actually, can I use? Yes, I have both bardic and your inspiration.
Yeah, you got both. That's what happens when you're funny and like on the spot.
Yes. I'll use yours.
Yeah, you can use them both.
Performance.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, 18.
Okay.
It was a 3, and then I re-rolled. It got a 19, but I had -1, so it's 18.
Can I offer something up? Since I do like to use all the rolls, I think it starts with a wail. A keening wail. which echoes in this space, and then just the whole waterworks. As you begin to weep, I'm gonna get the pronunciation on these names. I'm gonna knock it out. Skelly, give me just a second, Ben. Reaches into their under their tunic and pulls out a handkerchief and leans forward and goes to hand it. I mean, he's almost at eye level with you. It's okay. I'm glad you crying. This is. And he looks out at this scene as Julius is rushing forward in this just like bullet time. You do actually seem to be engaging with them out of normal time. I want to be very clear about that. What do you do?
She's gonna like I don't want to say aggressively, but like bows like aggressively, like really trying to look as respectful as possible.
Bows. Derogatory.
Take the handkerchief. It's just like I don't know how to like fake cry sound, but just like there's a lot of emotions going on right now.
Tithe is frozen. When you're not frozen, you're just moving very slowly as you're trying to grab things.
No, that's not what I meant. But with the history check that was offered from Portabella, there are some things I would say. I promised to have a little comprehensive guide on how to Fae. So here's how to Fae for dummies.
You know what I need? I need a comprehensive etouffee.
Okay, don't accept a gift from a Fae. Don't consume the food or drink offered from a Fae or from the Fae Wild. Never dance with a Fae. Never tell a fairy your full name. Never stray from a path in the Fae Wild. Never give a fairy clothing. Don't forget your manners, but never say thank you. Always keep your word. Don't repay with more than you borrowed. So
I need to interject on one very distinct point here. Those are rules for humans interacting with Fae.
Well,
Portabella is a Fae creature.
There are
cultural. These are like gods. Like I'm not just gonna refuse something from a god.
Yeah, that would absolutely be a far worse choice.
I don't say refuse it. That's the thing. But you maybe also shouldn't take it.
I'm gonna Finn. I also want to simply establish that while this guy is a prankster, right now you don't have to roll an insight check. I'm going to tell you he's genuinely interested in what the hell's going on. And I think you can tell that about him because he is a storyteller. And whatever strong emotions you've got, that's what he's interested in. That's what he is compelled by. The handkerchief is his buy-in. That's his ante to get at the table, essentially.
So which one was this? It was one that started with an S. I think.
Skelly. Which is almost spelled like squanchy.
Okay. He's also very gender.
Yeah.
A fab, no. A jab, assigned to Jester at the birth, sire.
That's very, again, gen.
I got that from a TikTok, and I quote it all the time because I just really like it.
Love it. Yeah, he's genuinely interested. I think that what he really expresses is, you feel so strongly. What is it that compels you to feel this level of injury?
Because well, I mean, part of it is like joy and wonder to be around the people I've looked so up to and read so much about, but also that I'm probably going to die because my friends it just broke out of your jail, and I was just try, and it's because we were trying to help Willow because her friend is a warlock of him, and he gave us something to help save him, and then one of your guards took it, and now they're angry, and we're probably gonna die now.
I can't wrinkle my forehead. I can't raise my eyebrows and wrinkle my forehead quite as substantially. There's many very thin folds on the face of this leprechaun-esque individual. Their eyebrows seem to be trying to have a come to Jesus meeting with their hairline, and their eyeballs are I'm impressed with that one. That was straight off the hip. Bam!
Oh, I didn't see it. What happened?
Just his eyebrows trying to have a come to Jesus meeting with his hairline. Their eyes bulge almost to the point that they look like they are protruding. And their face is one of shock and glee at the words that you just uttered. And he says, "The Willow's here. Is that the case?" And he looks to his right, and as you look to your left, around this huge arching twist off behind you, all of the other members of the Fey Court are standing there waiting. And Tatiana looks over and says, "Can we please get back to it?" And you see Skelly, for the court records, of course. And as he demurs, can I get a... Oh, no, sorry. I can't. I don't need anything. I need to know what Shiny wants to do.
Shiny is, after taking note of the 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals that they recognized, and then looking at the others like blink, 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 is noticing again that they are inside, but this is the biggest inside that they've ever been in. And it's the best inside that they've ever been in because this inside is outside. Oh,
Sorry.
and then there's a moment of like, could I actually, as they reach up to try to grab onto the moon, because it feels like it's that close.
Roll me an Arcana check.
You roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Is that wise? Natural 20
13.
that Shiny
How much?
steals the move.
13.
Roll me an insight check.
18.
There's a moment, brief moment, where you're straining up for the moon. You feel like, wow, if I just keep reaching up, I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look down, and it's disorienting to say the least, because your feet are on the ground, and your arms are reaching up towards the moon. And you feel like you look like you're the right size, but everyone else is much, much smaller. And as you have this sense of vertigo, we almost see you like snap. You don't feel anything different. Nothing feels different to you. But from the perspective of the members of the Fey Court, you look like you just shot up several hundred feet. Stretched, spaghettified. But nobody else saw it because everyone else is getting in a fight right now, except for Portobello, who's crying.
After experiencing this, Chinese also crying, but falls onto the ground, grabbing their belly, laughing, like even better than the moment in the water, the tingly water that gave such good feelings. This is obviously the best day of ever, and we are so happy about this.
I'm
And
gonna
that's
use that
Chinese
at
turn.
half. I'm gonna make that like half of your movement. I don't know, like
That's all I got. That's all.
Yeah.
The rest of Chinese movement is rolling on the ground, holding the belly, laughing.
magnificent. Tythe's gonna get a sleight of hand check or an unarmed attack.
Well, sleight of hand. That would be 15, and unarmed strike would be.
Which one? You pick. You tell me.
Well, is it for snatching my
Yeah.
companion? For I don't want to hurt Phileas. I just
You don't have to hurt them. I want to. You can always do reduced damage. You can essentially pull your punch, but the difference is that one of them is going to be like, I'm going to try and grab them in a specific way. The other is, I'm going to stop them from going forward. Full stop.
Yeah, I think Tithe is flooded with a feeling of existential dread. Not
In this space?
not in the artistic sense that it's often interpreted, but actual survivalistic existential dread that
Sure.
there are much bigger predators around them than they are, and so I think it would go to a much or to a fervent threat engaging mode. So I think it's more the strike.
It's got to be an attack. Okay. You don't have to do damage,
grab,
but
to grab Phileas and just more like grabbing them, rolling around them like a football, and just like you would tackle someone without wanting to hurt them, but getting them to safety.
What'd you get?
So that's 20.
Phileas.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know,
You're pretty acrobatic, right?
I am pretty acrobatic, yes.
Right. Show me
Yep.
how acrobatic you are.
Okay, I beat up also really bad. I want Willow in my hand right now. God, I'm just not getting along with the dice though today is the thing. So I got a 7.
Magnificent. You and your ball of fury that you carry inside of your heart are very quickly snapped out of the air like a fly ball.
That's fair.
Um, and as you are grabbed and rolled down to the ground, I feel like I am obligated by law to inform you that you still have a second level spell slot left.
As I'm getting snatched out of the ground.
Out of the air.
Out of the
yeah.
air.
And it would be entrapment otherwise. Quite literally.
I mean, I'm gonna obviously like just oh, thank you. But it's Tithe who's reaching for me, or is it someone else who's reaching for me?
Tithe has already. Thank you. Already, you just see this like big mitt, and you're like, ha ha, and then you're all nope. He was doing the two-handed.
Nope. And I say, nope, fuck that noise. And I just misty step right in front of this elf motherfucker and grab him by the collar.
Okay. What do you do as you grab Commander Aluin Aritzia by his gold and silver breastplate collar?
I grab him by his breastplate collar and I say, who do you think you are? You think you can just put people in boxes and take their belongings without any reasoning or explanation, like a tyrant, like a monster?
Yeah, when you say monster, you say monster, and then you feel a whole ass metal, it's actually leather in the palm, and metal gauntlet wrap around your whole head. I think that a 26 is going to hit you. That's a 19 on the die.
You're so annoying.
I'm not. I'm so
annoying.
Yeah, you go munch, and then you feel the, and then can I get a strength saving?
No.
What do you want? You're a pixie. I just work here.
You're being a
I'm gonna die.
Dexterity saving throw? Is that what you
No,
said?
strength.
That's
saving.
not fair.
Strength. It's contested. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Actually, 19.
Okay, all right. It's contested. What do you want to do? He's trying to pull you away from him. And you, superpowered as you are, actually realize you have the upper hand here. It might not feel good on your hair. But you might lose a little tuft of it. But you can ride this out, and still have an action left.
First of all, as I am doing all this, can I see Willow anywhere with dang it. No. I mean, if I'm just gonna grab him, I'm just gonna grab, like, if he's trying to grab my head, I'm gonna like pull his hand off of me and be like, you need to tell me where Willow is right now, and I need to bring him to the court so that they can help us.
Excellent. Can I get a dexterity saving throw, please?
15.
Very good. As you say, help us, you feel the wind shift in your wings, and push off of this guy at the last second, and see a fist covered in greeny purple blood hit this guy right in the jaw. And he goes spinning And Portobello, you see him turn and face you, and you can see little cuckoo birds. They're flying around his head. And he looks at you with his teeth all busted out of his face, and then falls, wham, right into the floor of the spring court here. And the crowd is on their feet as they look out. What? And there is just a cacophonous exchange of crosstalk. And it just got very loud in here because as you heard Titania's voice boom upward and then blast back down, oh boy, howdy, now all the voices are overlapping as they off into the distance.
I'm just like,
as you, as you're like standing there like this, you see that other, the captain of the guard, you can see his knuckles are already bruising, from having hit that guy so hard, and he's like, "Ugh."
That most certainly is inspo for the captain.
And he looks at you, Phileas, and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should have introduced myself earlier. Terrence Kelvin, captain of the Golden Guard." And he goes to extend at first a hand and then sort of a finger to shake you.
so you didn't help this guy put me in the box at all?
No. I know that he sort of like looks at his arm. I know I'm dressed like them, but I'm not like them.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you know where Willow is? I need to see Willow right now.
He hang on. Steps forward. And he says, "My deepest and most sincere," and he actually drops to one knee. "Deepest and most sincere apologies for disrupting you. I fear that time may be of the essence, and he looks down at the incapable of rising on his own strength, Commander Aluin, and I fear that he was simply buying time. I don't think that he would keep Willow here."
What?
As you shout, it goes, "What? What?" And echoes back down, resonating in this room. And you see Tatiana turn to her left, and she looks to Skelly and says, "Can you please turn that off?" And he says, "Oh, yeah, sorry." And he reaches under his arm and pulls out a wand and sort of points it upward, and there's just one little tiny spark. My God, please continue. And the captain steps forward, and he grabs the back of the commander's breastplate, and he says, "Don't make me do the voice." No, he does. "Tell me where he is." And
Or you wanted me to do the voice?
like he didn't want to have to do the voice.
Gotcha.
But he did it. Ben.
So, just for clarification, is command and captain to be understood in the context of like the naval properties, where I think the captain is 06 and the commander is 05?
There are, by way of hierarchy, the commander or the captain is in charge of the commander.
Okay. Thank you.
He is. He did not strike a superior officer he struck an insubordinate officer.
That's right.
He starts to cast some magic. And as he does, Titania puts the kibosh on that effortlessly. She absolutely, as soon as he starts to conjure magic, she's like, nope. She doesn't move. She doesn't have to do shit. She counterspells that, and you could just see it in her eyes. And he looks up, and he lowers his head again, and he says, "My queen, I apologize. My frustration got the better of me." And she says, "Do be mindful. It seems that tensions are quite high." And you actually hear Scarrett stomp a hoof twice and sort of shake his face and give a very similar expression of frustration. And she looks down and says, "I imagine that at least one of you has a restrained explanation for all of this, and what has transpired to bring you into my court today in such a manner. Do not all speak at once." And she looks down at Terrid, and she just points and looks, and then she starts to look over your party. Phileas, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. Queen.
Her eye twitches.
So Willow was in trouble.
You're aware of this?
We went to go and see what was wrong with Willow, and we ran in to this drow. I'm really bad with names. Portobello, what was his name? Tice, what was his name? The guy with the spiders. He was a drow. He was scary.
She starts leaning forward.
If Brithel were here, he could tell you, but
oh shit,
I'm Shiny, and Shiny wasn't there.
Tyve just, as he remembers, gets up, gets behind Phileas, and kneels behind him in a position of insubordination towards Phileas, as to symbolize I'm with them and I work for them, basically.
Sure.
And he just whispers, Nazar
the drow. He was there, and he had an army of spiders, and they were attacking us and Willow, and their webs were covering the sky, and Willow started dying, and all we could do was try and save Willow. And so Willow presented us with a seed of himself, and we said, well,
as you say that, wait. She leans forward. Wait, and you hear wait, like sort of like echo upward, and then bam, back down again. And she looks over at Skelly, and I thought I got it. And he's like, no, he like clicks the wand again, and a little spark comes out, and he's like, and she says,
they have a special effects guy.
She says, Willow was dying.
Yes, Willow was dying.
No. But you said they created a seed.
Yeah, they made a seed that was them basically, and I know because I talked to him a lot in it.
She looks up as you're saying this,
And
and she looks over at Scarrett. And Scarrett looks at her, looks at you, and turns and very loudly begins to descend a set of steps and leaves the room while you're saying this.
what? Wait, and
Please continue.
um okay, so it gave so it was a seed, and the drow guy kept attacking, and I thought Willow was dead. So I started crying, and suddenly my tear made Willow like wake up, I guess, inside the seed, and we were bringing him here to you because I didn't know what else to do with him, and I need him to be healthy and strong and happy again. Otherwise, I have nothing. Otherwise, my life is worthless and pointless, and I should just die.
As you say the words die, the word does not fall on deaf ears. Neither does the sound of crumpling armor as the commander is. It looks like you dropped a house on him. He's literally just a pancake oozing greeny purple blood from the ground.
I think I would have jumped a little bit because I was right next to him, so I
Yeah.
probably would have.
Yeah. He
At
looks like
this
something
point,
straight out of a Warner Brothers cartoon.
Phileas is like visibly shaking, just like like a chihuahua, like like an anxious chihuahua, and twiddling their fingers, and like not crying, but like has anxiety tears in their eyes that haven't fallen yet, just twiddling, and yeah.
Tyve wouldn't like to intercede in the conversation, but seeing the discomfort of one of the closest associates in this group, I think they would just shift a little bit nearer to them and almost, but slightly, superimpose himself before Phileas, just so that they could comprehend for themselves that if anything would happen, they could throw themselves in the line of fire, so to say.
And for this whole little bit of story that Phyllis has been sharing, Shiny has been kind of like moved forward and sat facing towards Phileas to listen, and like, oh, because this is more story than what we got last time. This is a lot more, and this is really interesting. And after like the little bit of movement and seeing Phileas like fidgeting and kind of worried, and also hearing the traumatic part at the end, Shiny like starts clapping and it speeds up, and it's like you
hear Skelly. Yes, bravo. Yes, quite. And he looks over at oh god, who is it? Tom. And Tom. Oh yes, quite nice. And both of them look up at Titania, and bless you, she says.
Thank you.
She shoots them looks that could kill if they weren't demigods. And she says, "That is A very interesting story. I mean, you said nothing that was false, nothing that was hyperbolic, nothing that was anything other than I would say, facts of the matter.
I tried to do it really calmly too.
Yes, and I will at least give Tatiana, don't give up. You have a choice. And she looks down and she says, "You would plant the seed in me that there is a chance to bring Willow back. The
What?
idea, the seed, no.
Oh, got it.
Too
Sorry,
deep.
sorry,
It's fine.
sorry. Okay, sorry,
Fine.
sorry.
You would hope to give me hope.
I mean, isn't that what Willow is? He is hope.
You hear a hearty here from Dom, and then you see one of these layers of cellophane across her body opens up and slaps him across the face, sending him sprawling backwards in his chair. And then you realize that it's actually not a dress and it's not cellophane. Those are her wings that are wrapped around her body.
And
She slapped him
Shiny
with the
is like
ring.
fist up in the air, mouth open as they were about to also yell out, "Here, here," and it's just like,
You hear an interruption from one of the few people in this court that would dare to do so. And Venestra steps forward and slams her fist into the desk and looks out at all of you. How could any of you dare to carry Willow's seed? None of you are anything powerful enough to hold a god in your hands. You can see the muscles in her jaw flexing.
My eyebrows crease a little bit, but then I try my hardest to relax them, and I say, "Oh, wait, Shiny, just wait, because this is important. Willow was safe up until I entered your court."
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
15.
Oh. No. No. You're going to take 2 points of falling damage as your wings don't work. And you seem to, because your wings aren't actually what keeps you aloft, it's magic. But you feel your wings go and begin to sort of curl up. And as they do, you're like, wait, no, and hit the floor. And you hear, "Shiny, is it? What is it you were hoping to regale us about?"
"Oh, the reason why they're able to carry the seed is because they're heroes. So yeah, that's why."
Tithe grabs the fallen Phileas in their hands. Not at any time have looked up at any of them. The whole time their head lowered and looking at Phileas and not at the court, more whispering than saying it aloud. For there was no other one to help. They carried them. For where there was encroaching darkness, they brought them to the light. We may be not worthy, but we were the only ones.
I would love a persuasion or performance check from Tithe, and I would like a D10 roll from Shiny, please.
Yeah, Willow chose us, obviously.
You better watch your mouth.
Performance or persuasion instead?
Yeah.
That's one the same. That's a 21 with a natural 20. I have only a +1.
What's the D10?
8.
So a 29. It's pretty persuasive. As I imagine her disposition would demand, she softens and even chuckles just a moment. And she looks over towards her mother, and then up towards one of her fathers, and she says, "Father, do you think these people heroes?" And there's a faint Lilton chuckle in her voice as she utters those words.
Phillies immediately stands up and brushes themselves off, stands up straighter.
Tithe holds you in your hand. Do you stand up in the hands?
Yep, just to look more hero-like.
As you stand up and fix your pedals, the four of you now are standing, sidebar close to these deities. Most of them, they're all higher than you. Most of them tower over you. But as you look up, obviously the most grand of these individuals by size is King Oberon. And he looks down this massive crown of antlers, quite literally tipping over your party as he regards you. And you see him flicker, and then flicker one more time, and then see him disappear.
Oberon disappeared?
Yeah. And then you hear from behind you, Tithe, and beside you, Shiny. They will be. And all of you are going to level up.
Yay!
Please do go ahead and take a minute and do that. I know you can do it. It doesn't take that long. It's 4th level stuff. But a good opportunity for us to sort of go through, and from if anybody ever sees this, sort of explain how I do level ups. When you do 4 levels in any class, I don't care. Once you hit 4 levels, you're going to get an ability score improvement and a feat. And you'll get maximum hit points that you can get for your hit die, plus your bonus, any other bonus. Yeah. So, I'm so hot for what comes. Except for one part of it. And I'll explain that later. One part. I'm just going to eat pizza. Really know that we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Hey, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, y'all.
Hell yeah. I could talk about
So we get the ability score and a feat instead of having to just choose one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the hedonist in me. Why choose one when you can have both?
I like your style, Dad.
Thank
I
you,
like
thank
your
you, thank you.
style.
I'd like to cut off the tip of this one.
Now we just like Mountain Dew Baja Blast in a Taco Bell cup. Then we'll really be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Anybody got a bowl of chips? You go for a bowl of chips.
All I have is that bag of the gummy Krabby Patties.
Well, I'll have to do. I actually do love gummies. I'm a peach rings guy myself. Probably a good 5 to 10 pounds of peach ring meat right here.
Do we just have to like memorize the feat that we choose because
No,
you can't?
you will
Because you
go
can't.
into your character sheet,
Uh-huh.
and you will go to your features and traits, scroll down to the bottom, and click Manage Feats. And from there, you will add an additional feat to your character. So excited, everybody. Guys, I can't wait. I'm really enthusiastic about what's going to happen next.
Oh man.
It should be fun. Let me know when you're done with your character. Because we're gonna do sort of a secondary round robin, and we're gonna do one more before this night's out. No, we're not. We're just gonna do the one quick one.
Whopping 60 points of health. I like it.
60 points of health. Bestial, one might say.
Also, they inexplicably just shrink on a quite lower rate than others would may.
I lost you there, Ben. What?
Resistances of barbarians.
They're a dangerous breed.
I don't know what I'm missing here with the whole adding the feet part. I can't find it.
Okay. Well.
So
okay.
if you on your character sheet, you should.
Just wait. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this the new-fashioned way.
The new-fashioned way.
We're not cavemen, SpongeBob. We have technology.
Correct. All right. There we go. You see this? You know what that is?
Oh, I see. Okay, give me a second. Give me 1 second here.
It's okay. I'm just gonna make you a chef now. You're just a chef. That's what the feat you're taking.
Dang it, I was thinking about being the group chef.
All right. I won't steal that from you.
I mean, she's more of a baker than a chef, but
They count the same mechanically. How many feats? So little time.
So many feats.
You can thank Jimbo.
Yo, there's one now called Jury Rig, and I find that really funny because in my tabletop club we played Mothership, and my character was named Jerry Riggs, and the whole thing was that he was a redneck that he wanted to be a chemist, but he flunked out, so now he just makes drugs and also makes bombs and stuff.
I like
Yeah,
this
that comes
guy.
from I created it with the Gremlin race.
As a Jimbo special. I like them apples.
Fresh off the Jimbo plate. I don't know.
Another chip off the Jimbo block.
Dang. That gift of the gem dragon is nice.
That's another Jimbo special. It is. Yeah. You can thank him because that came out of Fizzbands, which was a Jimbo gift to all of you and me. Community gift.
Community gift.
What's everybody thinking for their character?
I don't know. Now I found Great Bite. I'm just imagining Phileas flying around biting people.
There is a deity of lycanthropy right over there. Do you want to be able to assume the avatar of a goose and bite people? I'm just saying.
That'd be so funny.
No,
Oh
it's,
no,
no,
you're a terrible little goose.
it's...
To cause mischief. Choosing violence.
All geese.
Actually, thank you for that, Ativa. I will take Great Bite. That is so good.
Like that.
It's so thematic. I wanted to take the absolutely uninspired choice of skill expert, but that's too good too.
Boo! Boo!
Yeah.
Bad choice.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
Now I know what I want to do. So thank you.
It's I really only think that like skill expert makes sense when you're playing with a very small group, 2 or 3 people in a campaign. Skill expert can change the game quite literally, especially if more than one person takes it.
Yeah, there's also the other one that gives you 3 skill proficiencies.
Adept.
I think that's also then a good choice for that environment.
Actor, charger, mine.
My bite is now a D6. Yes.
Hair whip. I wonder who put that there.
Yeah, it gave me just a little bit more leeway to put it how it's supposed to be than creating an action.
I love that Keen Mind gives you like a survival, essentially bonus, because you always know which way's north.
Like also the thing that you always know what time it is. If you, as a DM, play with this,
Oh yeah.
and your one of the PCs has this, that can be significant.
I agree. I would. So I cut my teeth as a DM running the Mercenary Guild. That's really my first foray into DMing the Mercenary Guild, and so time was never really a factor that came into play, except maybe what time of day it actually was. As I've run more and more games in camp, I have felt the need to slow things down a little. And in one campaign, well, Jimbo, in the Ballad of Jolene and Dolly, we've been playing for 8 months now, 7 months now,
Yeah.
and we have encapsulated a full 56 hours.
My character has gone maybe 32 of those hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's significant. I really like that. One of the play groups that I lead, you play for 2 years almost now, and
Still in our first encounter.
we're not first account. No, until we made a half-year jump, like
Mm-hmm.
2 months ago.
Yep.
They have played for 2 weeks or so only in all that time. So
Wow.
it was really.
I do like a good jump time skip mechanic. There are some real fun ways to implement that. I also think it's very appropriate as I've implemented it with like the Mercenary Guild, where there's a season and then there is some sort of break in time for whatever reason when they come back. It's not usually much, a few months, less than a year, generally speaking. A lot can happen in a year, and sometimes a year can go by with very little, especially in comparison to those momentous occasions. And I imagine that you're being very diligent over there. What are you thinking about for Portobello?
I feel like chef can be kind of obvious because like cottagecore baker, but I'm also thinking
I will say a strong character choice.
So which one was it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so grateful for TV's hint there, because this is just so good. Like the beast kicking it more and more and having it being more powerful, really accentuated with this feat.
What was the other one you were thinking, Ted?
Cantrip mastery.
Not bad. Not bad. You want to lean into that spell cast and pop them off. Pop.
I mean, do you know the cantrips you want to have?
You get all of them.
Oh, it's all of them. Oh,
I was gonna say, what's the real benefit of cantrip mastery if we play with open spell books?
I think I was.
It's that you can use any cantrip as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And also,
which is serious, especially since you get all of them.
Also, open
That's right. I
spellbook
was considering that one too.
isn't open spellbook specific for your class, so you have the spellbook of your class open?
Yeah, I do think that you get another class, don't you, as a cantrip master?
I don't think so.
No, there's one of them where you get cantrips from another class, which in itself is very powerful, given that again, we're playing with up as well. If you want some cleric cantrips, okay, you can have them all.
Oh,
I like it. Fire. That's nice.
Yeah, cantrip mastery, not a bad way of doing it. Chef, I love that. Although I will say that, except for the mechanical benefits of it, you can be the camp chef. You don't do that. No one's. I don't think anyone's gonna stop you, and if they do, they don't get to play in the game anymore. Pretty simple.
Yeah, and there's someone tell cottagecore mommy that she can't make you treats.
Yeah, you're gonna shut your dirty pile. But first, let me put some pie in it. Shiny. You like that? I love the faded breath. What do you got? What'd you end up with?
Oh, tonight I am playing Shiny.
Oh God. Oh well.
So in looking through feats, I took Warcaster. Not because of like what typically is for a Warcaster, but the fact that if Shiny has something in their hands, like carrying something, like a bag of food and stuff, it makes sense that their hair would help do semantic components and stuff, or other bits and pieces. And since they are training to be able to put ancient beings to sleep so that they can slumber for a very long time, like they're supposed to, it makes sense also to have a reaction to be able to cast a spell. Bloop, go back to sleep.
Yeah, wait, no, sleepy.
Yep, okay. I didn't mean for you to wake up. And then to follow along for spells that seem important, I got a bonus cantrip and I took Control Flames because flaming things are bad for sleeping things. And yeah, I got one extra spell too, so I took Hold Person.
Interesting. I like it. What'd your ability score improvements come in?
Oh, Dexterity.
Oh, okay. What are you up to then?
18 for Dex.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. I move good.
Clearly. The hair helps.
Yeah. Always helping.
What I would say. The hair helps.
The hair is always the best friend.
He said baldly.
Hey!
Bald face.
The baldly. I really like the idea of being an confidence and accompaniment of ancient beings that have to slumber. It really puts me into the perspective of one of my favorite iteration of the vampire mythos, whereas the oldest ones, the most closest to the original progenitor of vampirism, are so devastatingly powerful that they have to keep spending most of their time in torpor, just in constant state of a sleep-like death, more or less.
Yes, and they eat everyone.
Yeah, that's really what it is. If you wake one of that motherfuckers up, you have a problem. And just to
I'd
imagine,
rather just eat everyone. Why live forever? Why spend forever sleeping if you can live forever? That's silly.
Well, that's the thing that's also dealt in this situation.
A valid argument. Let's have an argument about whether vampires should get off their asses and get back to work.
Oh, 100%.
They're lazy. What are you doing? You
They're
sleep
being
all
super
day,
lazy.
all day long, all week, every year after year, decade after decade, when you should be biting necks. Do you know how many people out there want to be bitten by a vampire? Please, you are doing a disservice to the community at large by withholding your vampirism, and we're tired.
Well,
You're letting shitty actors like Tom Cruise portray you in movies when you could portray yourself in movies. Come on now.
I have to interrupt.
that's
Tom
what
Cruise
I
actually
don't
is a
think-
vampire, so you guys should be very careful about how you talk about him.
I also don't.
He is
think
the
that is
only
what-
one putting in work these days. Him and John
Like
Travolta.
one of those motherfuckers wakes up, and an entire continent is engulfed in perpetuated shadow, from which souls rise again to live, to haunt the living.
That's happening in another game I run on Tuesdays. That's a private game.
That's
I
the
can't
kind of
play it.
vampire we're talking about.
Phileas, what'd you end up with?
I decided that I kind of want to like round Phileas out a little bit. He's like his charisma's like real good. Their charisma's like real good, right? But everything else is like super not so much.
What are your weak spots? It's okay. We're gonna do a SWOT in just a second. So we're gonna do strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats here for Phileas.
So I decided to go with squat nimbleness. Squat nimbleness.
Okay. That way you don't
And
get grabbed. I'm just here so I don't get grabbed.
I decided to improve my athletics and my strength score. I am now proficient in athletics.
Ooh. Oh, you
So
got
I
a
have
taste of that
advantage.
strength. You were like, yeah, throwing people around's the best. Damn, Type, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Yeah, that's.
No, I think
don't
what it is just that like Phileas is now entering a time in his life where he's gonna be like they're gonna be a lot more angry than they normally are. They lost Willow, like the one job they had, and they failed. So they're really full of anger and resentment and disappointment in themselves and are kind of just broken as a pixie right now.
Oh my god, that
And
is
so
so
they're
sad.
hitting the gym hard.
Mhm,
They're getting
mhm,
swole. They're getting ripped. They're on that pre-workout.
I would have liked the idea that with being a friend of them, I had become a friend of them, they just have a relation where they work out together or something like
I
that.
love the idea.
Yeah.
The whole next
Type
week
is
is
gonna
just
start
going to be the
training
two of you just
Phileas.
in an elven gym, just
Yeah.
a montage
And just
style.
like with now Ty's 20 strength score, just like this way too light handle, just pumping them like crazy and nothing
I think
happens.
we see you like bench pressing. We just see the like 4 plates on like either side, and then we see on those plates we see Phileas perpendicular, and they're pressing weights on your
Yes.
weights that you're pressing up.
Yep.
And it's
And
just
I'm
like,
gonna be honest, I don't actually remember what ability scores I improved other than with that feat. I think it was wisdom.
I like the idea that even those bench pressing handle is just hold with one arm so that Ty can spot Phileas with the other one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I improved my wisdom,
Strength
and then with the feat, I improved my strength.
let me take a look at that. I don't. If I might, I would tell you to put that point from wisdom into either Constitution or Dexterity.
Okay.
Because God willing, when Phileas hits level 8, which is not going to be anytime soon, you will have 2 stats that are odd instead of 3. And you'll get a bonus now to one of those other stats. So you'll get +3 to Dexterity or +2 to Constitution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but aren't most of my spells wisdom based?
Yeah, I mean, Constitution is never to be neglected.
As a warlock, they are charisma based.
Oh, that's why my charisma's so high. Okay, deal.
I mean, you have to also consider that if you put Constitution up, you get retroactive health improvement. So for every level that you had before, you get also 1 additional point of health. So that's not to be frowned at.
It's 4 more points. Or you can get out of the way easier. The 5% more likely chance of also hitting, since that is your attack stat for melee.
Dexterity?
Yeah, because you use light finesse weapons.
Okay.
So.
Okay, fixed.
You can hit more and harder, and get out of the way easier. Plus, your sleight of hand goes up, your stealth goes up, your acrobatics goes up.
It didn't actually.
It should.
It was already +3 before.
No,
my
it's +2.
acrobatics.
I'm looking at it right now.
I know, but it was already +3 before.
No, I'm looking. I was looking at your old character sheet. It was +2.
Oh, what? Okay, never mind.
Cool. Phileas is done. Tythe?
Yeah, pretty straightforward. No great surprises here. It's capping my strength at 20, having that speed +5, being otherwise pretty tame across the board. I really like the stats. So, like 20 for strength, 12 for dexterity, 15 for constitution, 10 for intelligence, 12 for wisdom, 12 for charisma. I really like that.
Yeah, I think that's very solid and very in line with the character.
I think so too.
One of these days, I'm going to invest enough time into a game that I want to start. And what we're going to do is, you're not going to roll. You're not going to use standard array.
Oh, I've heard about this before.
You're not gonna. There's no tables. There's no nothing. You're gonna tell me what your character's stats are. You're gonna tell me.
I mean, we basically did this for Skies for
right. Exactly. Yeah.
And I love that. It was so much more intuitive just to go through. Okay, that is the person we're gonna build. Yeah, that's the kind of stat they have.
Yeah. Start with the character and then build the character sheet around the character. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. The character sheet is not the seed.
Yeah.
It is the cipher.
Yeah. And the only other thing already talked about. Thank you again, Ativa. Just great bite. I think it's a great addition.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, Ativa, how many times have you heard that before? Great bite. Portobello. What do we?
One of my identifiers.
Yeah. It's my new pronoun.
Just great bite.
But
What'd you end up with? Bonuses and your new feat?
I don't know which I don't know which between a cantrip mastery or a concentrated mind.
They're both really good. I would go with cantrip mastery. Because then you can just be like, boom, spell, boom, spell, boom, spell.
I do think that, well, that's the problem, is that both of these actually work really well for you.
I will say, though, that I have 2 characters that I've made and put concentrated mind on and have not used it. I want to, and I've tried, but the situations never pan out.
What does concentrated mind do?
But cantrip mastery, every time I put that on a character, I use it.
you essentially can use your bonus action to maintain concentration on a second spell, a second concentration spell,
Gotcha.
which
Is
is
it
a
too much
real.
hassle?
What?
Oh, why does it come? You don't come to use it.
Typically, if we're in a fight, fights don't last that long.
Right.
That's almost like a 3-round situation to just put into play. And by the time we're there and things are in play to be able to use 2 concentration spells, somebody's about dead, and you're like, why waste that spell? Maybe I should just use this.
Okay, so it's an issue of form, basically. It's the wrong format to use it for.
It's a great idea, but yeah.
There probably are some cool RP options in there, but then you sort of lose the mechanic of it anyway. So, did that help you make a decision, Portobello?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you want to be the camp chef, I really do think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still definitely gonna be like just like normally, just not there's isn't like magically.
I mean, you have to see it this way. Just Phileas want to get whipped. They need to get their protein from somewhere.
Phileas is mad. Phileas is not going to be the same.
I'm excited to see where Phileas goes.
Which is the casting ability score?
That for you is your wisdom.
Okay.
I would find it so funny if just somewhere along the way, just Tithe picks up a level of Warlock and just Phileas picks up a level of Barbarian. Oh, it would be so funny.
Well,
yeah, understandable.
I think this is I think this right here is Phileas's villain arc.
Understandable. I want to check one more thing for you here, Portobello, and then yeah, we did it. I think we did it. We did.
Portobello will make you a nice little snack for Phileas that is like nuts and like melted sugar and some sort of soft gooiness as well, cover it in chocolate, and then hand that to you and say, here, eat this. You're always so angry when you don't eat stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Oh, you devious individual.
Lovely.
I don't need a Snickers, Shiny. Okay.
Just need to put something in your mouth. It was great getting to see everyone this evening. I love all of your faces and your characters so much, but unfortunately, I must bid you adieu and au revoir. And if you are French and you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not French. But, as always, we'll remind you, be good. Take care of yourselves. And if you can't be good, don't get caught. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.